that light on?
Go ahead, Z.
And welcome to Our Reviews Will Kill You. Again, this is the party podcast with all the answers. What a special night this is. I can't tell you how special it is. I mean, I will tell you because we're still getting ready for the party. You can see my co-host here, Baby Yoda, just absolutely ready to party. And I'll also introduce you to the other meandering co-hosts who've just kind of been hanging around. I think we replaced him a couple times, but you would never even notice because who knows? But he's Noob.
I'm the star of the show.
Yeah, that's why we replaced you at least thrice.
Nope, and it sucked every time.
I don't know. That Don
I'm saying when I guest on other people's podcasts, the numbers go up.
All right, I see some, and I'll introduce the final host before I start shouting out some people out there in the chat because they're joining us for the party as well. The man who always has a plan, cannibalism is always an option, at least for him. It is Scott Keebler.
Hello, here we go. And my screen is up, my mic is live, and we are as well. It's Friday night once again. Hello, OrkU Nation. The chat is up and running. Thank you for joining us. Please chime in. Let us know what you are up to tonight and what are you drinking as well.
Well, you should join us all for a drink because we just want to say thank you to. I'd like to say thank you to my co-host. Thank you to the people out there.
Wait, what do you have there?
Yoda. We have champagne.
No,
you know why, Scott?
it's a French 75 cocktail that I made.
Oh, well, whatever. It's something.
Hold on.
Do you have your drink too?
Yeah, I got my champagne.
Oh, you're drinking before we could toast.
I got my champagne around here somewhere.
Oh, my God.
And if you're out there with us, I know that Doc's out there. Doc LA Medic. Why that does not look like champagne?
Yes, that
or
is.
That the champagne of beer?
That is the champagne of beers.
Oh, my God.
Yes, Scott. I see
because I'm
Burn
classy.
Burritos is out there. Team Money. If you guys got drinks, kick one back with us. Salute to everybody, and we'll explain why in a second.
Okay. I'm still confused.
For those of you who didn't know, this is 150 episodes for us. It's been a long, hard road. We've gone through all sorts of interesting things, but 150, can you believe that?
Tumultuous, life-shortening, stressful, and annoying.
A lot of sexual discovery for myself.
Those are all words that I use to describe noob. But 150 episodes of OrkU is impressive. I'm glad we've gone this far. It's been fun, and it's just a shame that this will be the last one.
We're all retiring. We're done. We've tried our best to entertain you folks out there, but no, we also couldn't do it without our friends and fans out there who listen to the show every week, who participate in the chat. We've got some awesome people out there. You guys make the show more fun. We've had some amazing guests who've been able to come on, and just through the notoriety of the show and people hearing how disturbing we are, we've gained a little bit of traction out there in the podcast community, and we wouldn't be anything without everybody out there listening. So we do appreciate it. You guys are awesome. You make it worth us doing it. The Friday Night Live's been so much fun.
God, you love to talk.
I know, I love to talk, and just being a little sappy. But again, salute to all of you out there. This is for you guys.
Oh, this is getting gay.
Oh, so gay.
So, okay, are we good? Is that it? Was that
We have a giant supersized show for you today, folks.
This is
Scott,
some good champagne, I'll tell you what.
There's so great champagne. But I do want to say we have a supersized episode for you today. We have so many amazing things to talk about. It's incredible. We have thrills, spills. We have revelations. God. Something that you didn't know about Scott for the past 150 episodes that none of us here knew about.
Over 3 years.
I'm curious. I can't wait to find out what this is, too. I'm actually on the edge of my seat waiting to find out.
About a revelation about yourself?
A revelation about me that apparently I don't know about. So
yeah, Scott never knew. It's just shocking and absolutely ridiculous. So at least I hope you find it as ridiculous as I do.
Are we going to say it?
No, it's a teaser. We're going to wait for the actual moment for it to happen.
Oh. Because it's okay.
Doc
so should
wants
I
to know
talk
if
now?
No, Doc wants to know if we can mute noob. We've been trying to do that for a long time now.
150 episodes. We were successful, 3-4 times?
A couple times, but unfortunately, Actually, if I mute Noob now, we also mute Z, and I don't know if that's going to be good
I just
or bad.
learned a revelation about Doc that blew my mind, but we'll keep that to myself.
You better keep that to yourself.
I really thought about saying it out loud.
No. I'll tell you later, Doc.
So should I say what the show's actually on other than you rambling?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure,
Go
great.
right ahead.
So animated Star Trek porn is a thing now. We're going to watch that. There is another streaming network, and it's about all the cocks. And it has a lovable movie that's one of my favorite series of all times, and I'll tell you how to subscribe. There is also a tiny Batman, but not Robert Pattinson. There's another tiny Batman.
A tinier Batman.
The tiniest Batman. Yes. There's also protests going on about horse balls and dick sizes. And there was a dude that died, and he was an engineer. Sad. Anyway.
So sad.
Jada and Will Smith had a really interesting Facebook conversation about her rampant cheating and lack of respect for Will Smith, and that was fun. There's plenty
Wasn't
of memes.
that a tease, or you just gave away the whole
no,
story?
the tease is for the memes. The memes are the best part.
Ah, yes.
And then we're going to review some stuff because there's not much out. Old Guard with Charlize Theron.
Old Gourd.
Hyperdrive, also with Charlize Theron. Or she just produces that, I'm not sure.
She was in it as well.
And then Dark, which is on Netflix. And then is this a Netflix exclusive review episode? I think it is.
I think it is.
Yeah, it is. And Warrior Nun. I finished that, and that was neat.
That's neat.
That was really neat.
So neat.
And that's it.
So, on to the news.
Yes.
Who likes good news? Everyone? Then good news, everyone!
Great.
Then good news, everyone.
Well, is it good news that there's another Star Trek show that people don't want? But this time it's an adult cartoon. So that's new.
Oh, bother.
Yeah. Star Trek
wanted one of those.
Lower Decks. Not Lower Dicks. Bigger Dicks on the Lower Decks is the tagline that I made up.
That does not make my tummy
So
rumbly.
Star Trek Lower Decks focuses on the support crew serving on one of the Starfleet's least important ships, the USS Cerritos in 2380.
The USS Doritos?
Yes, USS Doritos after the burned Doritos fella in the chat. Ensigns, Mariner, are these just made up names? So made up names must keep up with made up duties.
Also, the word ensign is also a made up word.
Yes, Rutherford.
Ensign is not a made up word.
No, ensign
Mariner.
is not. Ensign, as New pronounces it, is.
Did you really say ensign?
I
Yes,
don't know.
ensign.
I can
Did
barely
he really?
read.
I totally missed
Yes,
that.
he did.
I can barely read. Anyway, the ship has stuff happening, and there's people on it, and looks like they got a wide array of different uniform colors.
Well, I mean, and we all watched this because we were going to do our response to this and what we thought about it. I know I watched it. Z, you watched this, right?
I didn't watch it. I didn't even know it was a thing until 5 minutes ago.
I don't even think he knows what Star Trek is.
What is Star Trek? Is
It's
that the porn for Star Wars?
He's an idiot.
Sure.
That's not the porn for Star
It
Wars.
is not.
The
Why is there an angry black woman staring at me in this picture?
Because that's the captain.
Is she single?
I don't know. Watch
She's
the
a
show.
cartoon.
Watch the show. Watch
Yeah,
the
watch the
cartoon,
show.
and you'll find out.
Is it on CBS All Access?
I think that's where it is. I don't recall.
Wow.
Z?
It is on CBS All Access.
Okay, there we
by
go.
the way.
So I guess
It is on CBS All Access.
Well, there we go.
And
I guess I have reason to keep CBS All Access. I thought it looked like it was going
you
to
have
be
a
fun.
reason.
It's like the Orville came back to Star Trek and fell into the world of Rick and Morty.
Did you laugh at the trailer at any point?
Not necessarily. There were a couple humorous moments. It's tough. It's tough to
Mildly
judge from the
amusing
trailer.
moments.
You know.
I was not impressed at all. I don't think this is going to be good. I think it's going to be absolute trash. And yet another reason why CBS needs to sell off Star Trek. This is going to fail before it even airs. No one's going to watch this. In fact, everybody out there, like all the real Star Trek fans or former Star Trek fans, like Doomcock and I think Mueller and some of the other guys out there, the other podcasters who talk about this stuff all the time, they're all like hating on this. Yeah, I know you don't know anything about anything that you're not on, and even
Yeah.
things that you are on, you don't pay attention to.
I pay attention to everything.
Yeah, I don't think you listen
Except
to a
for
single episode of anything else that you've ever been on.
Yes, I have. I've listened to the clips where I speak, and that's it.
Oh, really? If you were so good, how come you didn't make Sensibly Cynical's top 10
Because he's
clips?
a piece of shit human being and a monster and has
Wow.
betrayed me and our friendship.
Wow.
Yeah. And I gave him AIDS, by the way, so he'll find that out eventually.
Are you declaring that right now? You
I
know
am.
that's been decriminalized. It's no longer a crime to
AIDS
deliberately
is-
give someone AIDS.
Wait, it used to be a crime?
Oh, yeah, it was a felony.
Wow.
What are we talking
Really?
about?
I don't know.
I
I just learned that it was a crime to give someone AIDS, and that's neat.
It's not anymore. It's been decriminalized.
So I can freely give people AIDS.
Yes, you can.
Okay. All right.
But unfortunately, you can't get sex with anyone, so you're not going to be able to give anyone AIDS.
Well, you know, if they're sleeping, it doesn't count.
So Scott says yay, I say nay, and
I don't
Noob
care.
Noob is just
It's Star Trek. I'm never going to watch it.
Yeah, I'll check it out. I'll see what it is. I have all access, so I can check it out and see what it's all about, and we'll go from there. That's about the best we can do.
Yeah, why don't you actually check out a streaming network that's actually much better, and that's the Peacock, which is NBC's streaming service with a great name. Oh, am I being summoned?
you're being beckoned.
You're doing it to my blind side, so I'm literally barely seeing you doing that. No, this is where I can actually talk though, because the main reason to get NBC streaming
Apparently,
Peacock
there's
Network,
only one reason.
there's
Noob
only
Noob.
one reason, and that is access to Psych 2, Lassie Comes Home, the exclusively being able to be viewed on the Peacock Network for free. By the way,
Wait,
you
what?
can sign up, and there is a free version of this, which is kind of cool.
Wait, what was the show?
It's
Psych,
it's a movie.
the movie part 2.
Lassie Comes Home. Yes.
Doritos says he picked up Ghost of Tsushima. Speaking of which,
Tsushima.
we will be doing a not a live stream, but we will be releasing a stream of Noob Noob and I playing Ghost of Tsushima. And we'll be drinking Japanese whiskey to make it authentic. So make sure you catch that as we break it down into parts.
How is that good news? It's not.
Yes.
It's the best news.
So there's 3 tiers of the Peacock Network. So there's the free one where you're probably going to get hammered with ads. Then there is a mid-tier level called Premium, which is $4.99 a month, which includes just 5 minutes of ads
You could pay for just 5
per
minutes
hour,
of
though.
ads.
So you're paying for 5 minutes of ads per hour. If you want no ads per hour, that's $10 a month. So that's weird.
$10 a month.
Yeah, for no ads at all. So that's it's like double premium.
So, but it's free if you're okay with ads.
With ads, yes. But they are offering Psych 2 on the free version. So there are certain things on the free.
Will that have ads?
I don't know. I'm going to watch it probably
The second it
Sunday
comes out?
night. It's already out.
And you didn't?
No, because I was
celebratory-
too busy making French 75 cocktails to exquisite detail.
Masturbating.
Yeah. Go ahead. Pour yourself some cocktails.
Oh, Jesus.
Is anyone else? Are you going to get Peacock? Anybody? Nope.
No. What would I watch on it? The only thing I heard is that they're going to put The Office on it, and they're going to put what's the other show? That's
30
real popular?
like
30 Rock.
NBC, basically 30 Rock, Parks and Rec, Saturday Night Live, Murder She Wrote, Leave It to Beaver, Columbo, Friday Night Lights, Downtown
Beaver.
Abbey.
I think
there's going to be Peacock Originals.
Wasn't Peacock?
Not-
Peacock was available to people if you have a Xfinity service already. You just say it in your remote, it comes up or something like that.
Yeah, now it's just widely available.
Yeah.
Widely.
Except it's not on Roku or Amazon Fire Stick. So yeah.
So, Scott, are you going to get Peacock service?
Nope.
You're not going to be down with the cock?
I'm not getting down with the cock.
But you could watch the Donald Trump Saturday Night Live episode. I didn't even know
Just
that, was the thing.
one episode?
Yeah.
Nothing
Yes,
else.
it's called,
Nothing
It's
else.
called his.
No one would
Presidency.
want to watch Saturday Night Live anyway.
Yeah, that show does suck.
Yeah.
2.5 Men's on there. King of Queens. There's really not much on
Yeah,
there at
all
Just
all.
like a bunch of old
Yeah.
trash.
All these
Yeah.
shows that went to hell.
Oh, Fast and Furious.
Whoop-de-doo.
Because that's Universal and NBC. Owns.
Speaking of Fast and Furious,
Oh, is that a...
we'll be teasing something related to Fast and Furious later in the show.
We are?
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, so let's go to Tiniest Batman. That's the Batum. And he is in a comic book. And he is the Batum. A sexual
There's no sex.
fusion of Batman and the Atom. Oh my god.
Oh, look, it's
That is
baby
the cutest
Batman.
that's the cutest Batman.
The best Batman. Oh, look, it's Baby Robin and Baby Batman.
Oh my god.
So, do you have any idea what this story is about?
Nope.
Not even a remote clue.
Tiny Batman fused with the Atom, and he goes into someone's anus.
They already did that with just the Ant-Man, but no. Batman metal's been going on.
So that is not Tiny Batman. That is a cute little Hulkbuster Batman or whatever it is. Superman Buster Batman, whatever. It turns out that is Tiny Batman.
He looks like the Atom with bat with ears.
He's pretty much like Ant-Man, but a Batman.
Well,
right?
he has the powers of Atom, so he can shrink. And he's also the Batman, so he's the Batman. So he's Batum. And Batman Metal just introduced him. So the interesting Batman Atom, if you're not following with the comic books, is where the Batman Who Laughs came out, where it's like this crazy, it's like one of the most innovative versions of the Batman that they put out recently. And we just wanted to say there was a funny joke in this new one about Tiny Batman. Essentially, he goes to. Are you gonna show it there, Scott?
Well, I mean, you can see
what is going on.
He's
I'm too busy
gone
pouring another drink.
He's gone undercover, disguised as, I'm assuming, a lizard or something. Because
I guess
he
he's
is
like a little tiny lizard.
tiny size. But of course, we all know the biggest challenge for Tiny Batman, of course, is surviving certain things, including. Come on.
Oh.
What? Oh, someone ran him over?
Yes.
Is that how he died?
So Tiny Batman dies. Is that how Al Pattinson's gonna die?
What? That's in a comic book. He dies like that.
He gets run over. Yeah, that's Batman
It's
Metal.
my ultimate nemesis,
Oh my
a
god.
car.
That's not cool at all.
So not the bottom of someone's shoe, as I anticipated he would die. He died to automobiles. He basically got Grand Theft Auto'd.
I stood up.
Is he going to get revived by the Dragon Balls?
I was able to stand up against my one arch enemy. The big wheel, the plastic tires of the big wheel were no match for me. However, I could not beat the Chevy.
Could not beat the cars. So, looks like they want to limit Noob Noob to a 2-drink minimum.
What do you mean?
2-drink maximum.
Did I not make a delicious drink?
It's good. It's tasty.
Exactly.
I'm drinking it.
And I am a good bartender. Just
Yeah,
saying.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, no.
We say hello to George Lopez out there in the
Yes,
chat.
the real George Lopez, by the way.
The actual George Lopez.
The one who got really fat, then didn't become famous, then lost weight.
I thought he
then
was
got,
famous.
Then got fat again. No, he's only famous in the Mexican community. Then he did a video, fist fucking a taco, got real famous again.
What are you
None
even
of this
talking
is
about?
true, by the
Those
way.
are facts.
None of this is true.
You just lost your damn mind.
That's probably going to make people protest. Oh my God, segue, because I'm great.
Speaking of protests.
Yes, Red Dead Redemption players. That game sucks, by the way.
It does not
They
suck.
dress up as clowns to protest Rockstar's lack of updates. Did they really give up on Red Dead?
They have not updated Red Dead Redemption in, it's definitely more than 6 months.
And when's the last time they updated GTA 5?
We're looking about probably 6 months now. They're just not updating either game, so now people are dressing up like clowns. Much like how you dress every day.
Doesn't that mean that they're making a new game, though?
What game would that be?
Red Dead Auto 5.5?
Does that include mechanical horses?
It does. Mechanical horses with adjustable dick sizes.
It'll just still be Grand Theft Auto 5 version 87 Red Dead cars.
So I guess the players are dressing up as clowns because feel like they're being treated like clowns by Rockstar.
What if they're trying to throw a virtual online party for the Insane Clown Posse?
That is a distinct
Just be a clown party.
possibility.
I'm down with ICP.
Is ICP down with you?
I hope so. I used to like... They have a couple of really good songs, honestly. There was a video game on PS2. Shit, I can't remember. But it was a wrestling game with the Insane Clown Posse, and it was dope. It's like backyard wrestling or something weird. But it was great.
Looks like Money Team is playing Red Dead right now. So dress up like clowns for us, fellas, and send us some pics.
We have audio of him playing.
Of the clowns playing?
Who playing? Burn Doritos or the clowns?
Of him playing Red Dead. You can hear the walking.
Oh, that is, yes.
I thought I would hear horse galloping, since you're such a fan of the horses.
Oh, you know what? You're right. You're right. There's a lot of horses in that.
Oh my god.
Oh,
There is a lot of
Poor
horses
horse.
just collapsing in Red Dead.
horse.
What
It just
is there?
happens.
Tell me one good thing there is to do in Red Dead. Like,
Ride your horse.
Why
to
is that?
start.
You can do this in a much better, more beautiful game that we're going to be playing in just a couple hours. Ghost of Tsushima.
Which you have not even gotten on a horse yet. So how would you know?
No, I was on a horse.
I don't know. Does that horse have shrinking testicles?
The horse dies.
Every game you play, the horses die.
The horse always dies. Why does the horse always got to die?
Well, anyway, I say keep dressing as clowns so make Noob feel more comfortable.
I like clowns.
Clones?
Killer Clowns in Space, great underrated movie.
Bring in the clones. Have you actually seen that movie?
No.
No, you've only heard of it.
No, I've heard of it, and I see it on Netflix, and I'm like, that's neat.
It is a classic. It's a cult classic. It is an awesome movie.
I saw Mars Attacks, though. That was a movie.
No, Killer Clowns in Outer Space is much better than Mars
Really?
Attacks. Yep.
Isn't it kind of the same thing?
Not even close.
No.
Other than the fact that there's aliens invading and people have to stop them.
Yes, but they're both like B-movie horror things.
Wasn't Mars Attacks directed by Tim Burton? I wouldn't exactly call it a B movie.
Hey,
Killer Clowns in Outer Space is definitely a B movie.
so I think I'm just gonna go ahead. I'm gonna feed this horse here an apple, and then we can go ahead and move on. If you guys
Just gonna
don't
keep
mind.
killing. Okay.
Oh wait,
Great.
that's not an apple.
Scott is just really trying to move this along here because we have such a dense episode.
Oh, Doc is saying they took the clown mask away in Red Dead? Really?
Racist.
That is really
That's clownist.
Wow. So they got pissed off because people using the clown mask to protest, so they took the clown mask away from the game.
They're like, you can't protest anymore. Clown lives don't matter.
Oh my god.
Is that a bad joke?
That's only gonna piss people off.
CLM
Is that too
movement.
topical?
Clown lives matter.
That's fine. No one
All
cares.
clowns.
Hey, we're just talking about clowns.
All the clowns.
No one cares about
Clowns,
clowns.
you know, the tears of a clown are so sad. And why would we be so sad?
Except for Pennywise, he's a
The
dick.
clown.
Pennywise is kind of a dick. But
So
what about the sadness?
yes, let's move on to a man that's not a clown. He's Asian. He is Grant Imahara.
Grant Imahara, you
Imahara.
dick. Imahara.
This dude looks awesome, honestly. He's
What do you mean? Do you even know what he's from?
The Mythbusters show.
He also
And he was an electrical engineer.
Yeah, he also worked Star Trek, Star Wars, tons of shows. He's done a million things. He was in that show about cars, BattleBots or whatever it was. He did a ton of stuff, and at 49 years old, brain aneurysm.
Too soon. Yes, he was one of the mythtards with.
He was in Sharknado 3.
Was he?
He was.
Good
Star
for him.
Trek Renegades. He was in, yeah, he seemed like a good dude.
But he was great in Mythbusters. A great personality, and it's a real shame to see him.
Yeah,
Didn't
Sorry.
Mythbusters kind of break up though?
They did, and there's some weird, ugly accusations about Mythbusters. I don't want to get into all that. It's
Oh, boy.
just too much.
That's
Very
a
sad.
weird thing.
But they had a separate show. I think it was called the White Rabbit Project on Netflix. So if you're looking to catch them on reruns of Mythbusters. Catch them on the White Rabbit Project.
That was
and,
that was after Mythbusters disbanded. Pretty much him, Tori, and Grant. Or no, Grant
Yes,
was
Grant.
him, Tori, and what's her face? I forget her name all of a sudden. The three of them went and did White Rabbit Project, was one season, not on Netflix. Also a decent show, kind of along the same premise where they were using science and experimenting to like prove points and learn stuff. Good educational show. It was, it was good. Oh, good. This guy, he was a talented guy and good personality, and it's an absolute shame. 49 years old.
Kari
That's the
Byron was the woman.
Yeah, Carrie Byron.
Gary Byron, yes.
That's the secondary Mythbuster to die.
Yes, Jessie Combs, who is labeled as the fastest woman in the world, actually died during her return trip, breaking that record.
Oh, she was part of Mythbusters?
She was.
Yeah, she was one of the original-
She came in while Carrie Byron was pregnant. Grant came in and replaced the original Scotty Combs personality in Mythbusters. Grant came in and replaced her, and then Carrie Byron got pregnant. And while she was gone, Jessie Combs came in and replaced her for a little bit. And then when Carrie came back, that's when Jessie went on to do other things.
Wow, that's shocking that you know that much about hosts of shows, Scott.
It is, isn't it?
How do you know so much about the hosts of all of these shows?
I mean, if I just watch,
is
watch
happening?
some shows, I tend to learn stuff about them.
Interesting. How much you know about the hosts of
sometimes
these shows?
You learn things.
Sure. Interesting.
Is that? Oh, I thought we were getting into a revelation.
No, we're not getting. We're getting close to a revelation.
Is this,
We're not-
oh,
We're
wait,
not
is this
there
not?
yet.
Is this not what I'm supposed to discover about me in this
We
hour?
will. We're getting there. We're getting there.
I'm honestly confused as to what it could be.
Oh,
Me
you'll
too.
see.
Me too.
It's just absolutely ridiculous. Now it's just there's a new world of Scott opening before our eyes.
And it's not that he's gay.
No, not yet.
Bisexual.
No, that's not it.
Hey.
Well, what color's your nails today?
They're still the same color. They haven't gotten done. As you can tell, I don't
Of
care
course.
or take care of my nails.
We get it, you're a liberal.
Obviously,
Okay,
it's not
continue.
My thing.
We get it. You're a
We get
liberal
it.
communist.
You're a commie.
All right.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
So let's move to one commie from another. A horrible human being, Jada Pinkett Smith,
This story.
who is just the biggest whore of all the land.
I don't know that I would call her the biggest.
She is a whore.
That is not
A
polite.
whore.
Is he really crying there?
Poor
what is he
Will
holding in his
Smith.
hand?
I think
is that a neuralizer?
That's a neuralizer. I think
everything
he's
that
going
he
to
heard?
try and forget everything that happened. He's going to neuralize himself.
Is that one of those memes? Because I thought that was real.
I think.
So
No, this is better than me. This is my creation. I went ahead and made this one up yesterday.
Wow, that's a good joke, Scott.
Oh boy.
Why, thank you.
That's a good joke. He made his own meme.
Scott mildly funny.
Scott mildly funny visually. Scott no funny regularly, but mildly funny visually.
Yeah, I have my moments, I guess.
You do occasionally.
So Jada Horsmith is
Jada Pinkett Smith.
Jada Horsmith looks like a man is
Oh my God.
having sex with a
Oh.
man that's not Will Smith.
That's not her married husband.
It is August Alsina, whoever that is. Anyway,
dude.
so the general story is Jada Pinkett Smith had an affair. This is years ago, by the way, on Will Smith while they were having some turbulent times, and she just had some
Baby Yoda, close your ears, please.
record-breaking Facebook. I think it's called the Red Table. It was a live talk show on Facebook.
Where she just talks to herself and her family, right? Like
Yes.
her mom and her daughter.
And this time it was her husband, and they wanted to talk about their affair. Well, her affair that he just kind of was involved in because
Was it an
married to
affair
her.
or was like they had an open marriage, didn't they?
I want to say that I did hear that, and I didn't research this that much.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that I don't know that everyone was on board with that open.
Here's my
marriage.
thought: the open marriage was Will Smith saw that Jada Pinkett Smith was just going to fuck anything that moved, specifically in the month of August, and he's like, "Well, she's not going to stop, so I'm just going to say it's an open marriage because that makes her less of a whore." But it doesn't. She's still a whore. And so anyway, this talk show went into like all the transgressions of that. And what's funny is, it is called Red Table Talk.
What is funny?
What's funny is that she doesn't think that it's actually a transgression.
I don't know. Wait, it wasn't a transgression.
No,
Why
she explains her affair
is she saying that she's trans?
wasn't a transgression. So this is a quote from Jada Pinkett Smith.
You're really gonna read all this? Okay, go ahead. Noob. Hold on. This is theater of the mind. Noob as Jada Pinkett Smith.
Yes. All right, hold on. I'll put on my black woman voice.
Oh my God, you can't do that.
I actually don't look
What
at
are
it
you doing?
as
Just
a
read it.
transgression at all. Though the particular journey, I learned so much about myself and all the dicks I like, was able to confront a lot of emotional immaturity by swallowing semen. And I was really able to do some really deep penis healing. And I came through and
Deep
started to
penis
realize
healing?
a few things about you and I. Meaning her husband that she was cheating on profusely. He decided to break all communication with me because I was a cheating whore, which was totally understandable because I'm a cheating whore. And then I let that be and hadn't talked to him since. So it is a little weird that all this stuff is coming out now.
Wait, so she's still dating this August guy?
No, maybe that was the August dude that she's talking about not talking to. I don't know. I really don't care enough about Jaden Pinkett Smith. The August guy is, go back to that other picture, Scott. The August guy.
That one?
There we go.
No, he wants
the
the
one
picture
with
of
all the
August.
peoples.
There you go.
The August guy is the one in the bottom left.
So he's not the one that's Tupac.
He's not
Nope, he
Tupac.
is not
And not the
Tupac.
one that's Will Smith.
He's not Will
Jada
Smith.
Pinkett Smith probably fucked Tupac though.
She did. That was her ex.
Wait, really?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Why do you think?
Absolutely.
Why do you think this gifts or
Wait,
yeah,
for
says
real?
Her ex.
Yeah.
I thought they were married since like 1995.
Not at all.
What? Wow, I'm learning so much about her.
Doc confirms it as well. He is your fact checker since you're useless at it.
Yeah. Anyway, the main gist of this is that Jaden Pinkett Smith is a piece of shit, and no wonder her son's gay.
So
No, what? You were blaming this on her son being gay?
No. I'm blaming her son being... She turned her son gay by being a whore.
Oh, I see.
Because he's like, wow, my mom's such a whore, I don't like women anymore.
So apparently...
Oh, wow,
so
that is a
apparently
thing.
She did have an affair on him years ago, and that's why they went to the open relationship, because that was what worked for them, and that was worked for a lot of people. And they're still...
No, it didn't work for him. It worked for her.
They're still
worked for her.
They're still doing their podcast together, and they're still doing their
saying he's a
thing,
cuck?
and he's definitely... Maybe he is a cuck. Maybe he got cucked in this. Who knows? But... I think a lot of this is just assumption going on, and it's
Not assumption.
It's not assumption because she came out on public and said that she was cheating on Will Smith. Do you think she should be airing this out publicly and humiliating her husband?
She's been doing a lot of stuff out in public for a while now with that whole talk show thing that she does. She's like on talking with her kids about orgasms and stuff. I mean, apparently she's
That's
pretty.
weird.
Open and out there with her little her personal podcast thing. So
Doc says if Tupac were alive, she'd be Mrs. Tupac. I think Tupac would be with I'm just going to say substantially more
Usher?
attractive women. Usher? What the fuck is no?
I just thought of like a really womanly man, and I thought of Usher. Not Lil Jon. He's kind of cool.
Usher is like all roided up and big.
Is he?
Why is he womanly?
I don't. What, yeah, but his dick's probably really tiny.
Oh, he was also supposedly allegedly giving STDs to everyone he banged.
Oh, really?
That would be Usher.
What about
And
he probably had sex with Beyonce in that one music video, didn't he?
Probably not.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure. I'm not talking to you anymore.
Okay. So anyway, yeah, that's the gist of that is that Jaden Pinkett sucks as a human being.
Apparently, we've got a warning coming along.
Oh my God! There's
we can
an
hear
Amber Alert.
There's an
Jesus!
wow! We have to interrupt our regularly scheduled.
I'm gonna get
This
beat.
is an Amber Heard alert. There is an Amber Heard alert going on right now.
What the fuck?
New
An
news
Amber
has
Heard alert.
come out about the divorce between Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. Apparently, she is still a psychotic bitch who shits in beds. And
Who shits in beds?
Shit the bed.
That came out in the trial.
That
Yes.
came out
Oh,
in
that's
the
right. Yeah,
trial.
that it was a feces in the
and
bed. Yes.
So the trial is still going on. It's getting uglier day by day by day. Johnny Depp has had people come out in his defense, including his exes,
Jesus.
Winona Ryder and other exes coming out in his
Yeah,
defense.
but
as
they actually didn't have to
witnesses.
testify. They're not testifying. They were called as witnesses, though.
Yeah, but they both have made statements. They put out reports and stuff like that. And the more this goes on, the more it seems that Amber Heard was absolutely the monster in this thing, and Johnny
She's
Depp
an alpha
actually
bitch.
was the innocent bystander in this entire thing.
Yes, I'm going to coin a new term. She was an alpha bitch. That's no one.
Nope.
Nope,
Not even a little bit.
Nope.
not even a little.
Good Lord, you guys
Nope.
are terrible at this.
Yeah. It wasn't that good. Everything I say is better.
Not even close. So, what did you hear? The other extremely psychotic thing that Amber Heard did in this trial that was kind of a bombshell. No?
What was
she
this?
bit off his dick or something?
She did not bite off his dick.
We're eagerly
She's been a Me Too survivor, supposedly, and her assistant came out, and I don't know all the details, so I'm just going to make up a story that I think happened. I think that this assistant might have been in overseas or in Brazil or Guatemala or something like that, and might have been gang raped and abducted for 5 or 6 hours by people. And she was telling this story that I just made up to her friends over at and Amber Heard was there. And Amber brought her into her office so that she could ask her a bunch of questions. And then she was telling her Me Too story, and the assistant was like, that's my story that you just stole. So she has stolen valor of a sexual assault survivor. She just stole this girl's story.
It's impossible!
Took it. It's totally possible. Now I don't know what happened to the girl. I feel bad for her. Whatever happened.
Amber
but
Heard probably ate her.
No, she's very thin. How did she eat her?
No, she,
I don't know.
she murdered her.
You mean she's a cannibal?
Yes, she's the cannibalistic Amber Heard.
No, she murdered her and then fed her to her tires.
But
Her
she's
tires?
still alive.
Her
Her
tires.
tires?
Her tires.
Her
yes,
tires.
Her tigers.
Tigers.
Oh, tigers.
I
I was going to say, Scott, have you had too much
Champagne.
champagne
Actually,
beer?
for some reason, I was
Champagne
going to say lions, and that wasn't the case. So as I was saying lions
my.
and corrected to tigers, I got tires
Why not just bears?
and bears. Oh,
No
my.
one feeds anyone to bears because bears eat people alive.
That's
and they
the
eat
point.
asshole first.
Okay. Do they really?
Yeah,
they
a
go right
tiger
for the
will
ass?
kill you first. A bear will just eat you alive.
It's
But
the,
they
it's,
will
it's-
specifically start at your asshole.
well,
for
it's
sure.
the
Oh my
softest
God.
meat. Yes, they start with the genitals because it's the softest meat.
Is it though?
Yes.
My asshole's pretty rough.
It's been brutalized.
It's been through a lot in its 29 years.
Is that how?
I am. Yes.
Bro.
How old are you? 45? 50?
52.
Okay.
52 pickup.
So yeah, that's
That's it for news.
what was the point of that Amber Heard story again?
It was an Amber Alert.
oh,
It was an
She
Amber
shit
Heard
the
alert.
bed.
okay,
Is that it?
that's cool.
I thought like we were like for like 150 we were going to be like all this great stuff and we had like fanfare and confetti.
Nope.
It seems
We
just-
have no budget for confetti.
all that was
Yeah.
just lackluster.
You see these white walls?
Yep.
We have no budget for confetti.
And that's
That
also
was
racist.
Just lackluster. It's
Not
like
racist.
So disappointing. So I guess we're moving on. So I guess we're moving on.
We're moving to Netflix reviews.
Why? You have something else you wanted to go over?
Let's go, Ogadag! Fight my shiny metal ass!
Tonight, you.
Okay.
So what are we doing first there, Noob Noob?
Let's do Dark because nobody cares. So let's start it off with something shitty.
All right, we'll start with Dark.
It's on Netflix.
It is the greatest or number one German show ever created.
Except for
And-
Hitler.
That wasn't a show. That was real life.
Wait, what? What?
Or yeah,
Hitler was real?
shut up.
Oh my god.
It also was the, I guess, proud recipient of like the first major international contract with their contract that they signed was an innovative and highly lucrative contract for that particular studio, and now they're using that model for the rest of some of the worldwide studios. So it's been like very productive, I guess, for people and helpful for artists. I guess the artist felt it was very fair the way that they created. I don't know all the details. I know we covered it in a previous story, but this is the third and final season of Dark, and I can't even explain to you what the heck is going on in this show. It's time travel and alternate dimensions at this point, and people playing four different versions of themselves, and then playing alternate dimension versions of themselves.
That
Like
seems
I can't keep track
Very
anymore.
confusing.
You need a chart to watch the
Cheers
show,
to whatever that is!
and it's dubbed in English. It's an amazing show if you want to think real hard, but Noob, it's just too much for you. It would overwhelm you easily.
Is it better than Hannibal?
That's a good question because the third season, the first season is arresting. Like, it's amazing. I don't know if it's as satisfying as Hannibal, because Hannibal, you can actually follow what's going on, even though it's like kind of an intelligent show. This show is not incomprehensible, but it is freaking hard to follow. But it's very, very clever, very well written. I'm grateful that it's only 3 seasons, because if it goes any further, I think my mind might explode. It might just melt.
Would you need to be
None of your
better on
information
drugs to
helps
consume
me.
the show?
Yes, you should be on drugs while watching this show, because it might take you to an alternate dimension.
Okay.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. It just the critic consensus for season 3 doesn't really give much away. It just says Dark's final chapter is as thrilling as it is bewildering, bringing viewers full circle without sacrificing any of the show's narrative complexity.
Kill me!
Sure.
Kill me!
Sure. And it's got a 95% with like 10 reviews or something.
I think it's a badass show that you should totally catch, but you got to be in the right mind state for it. You gotta be ready to think.
Okay, well,
And
let's
nobody
bring
wants to
it
do that.
back with a better show on Netflix, and that is what I just finished, and that brought me closer to Jesus, Warrior Nun.
I wish it brought you all the way to Jesus.
We talked about this a little bit last week, and I finished it since then.
You know, there's a controversy with this show now.
What's the controversy?
I don't know if you heard this one.
Nope.
Scott's not going to have it's going to be, and you might have to look for this, Scott, if you want, but there might be a lawsuit coming because the artist who did the John Wick 3 poster is now accusing Netflix and the designer of the poster for Warrior Nun
Oh my God.
as being a copy of the John Wick poster. If you look at them back to back, they are pretty damn close.
Isn't that just like the Star Wars and Avengers posters are basically the same goddamn thing?
the what posters and who?
Avengers and Star Wars are kind of the same posters.
Avengers and Star Wars. Yeah, but were they done by the same artist? If they're done by the same artist, I don't think it matters.
Yeah, I
but
think they were, because I mean, they're both owned by
this is not
Disney.
the same artist. This is two different artists who did...
One's going to the left, one's going to the right.
Oh, yeah, that's barely a copy.
One says the name, one
At
doesn't.
all.
There's enough differences.
One says Warrior Nun and one doesn't say John. You tell me those aren't influenced by each
They
other.
both have a lot of purple.
You don't think that those are almost direct copies of each other?
But the one's got blue.
And the one's got purple, but they both have
And,
purple.
and the halo on the right is around his head. The halo on the left is on her back. It's the same thing.
Yeah. But how could that be? It's not a carbon copy, so how would a lawsuit ever work in that instance? Doesn't China literally take what we do and just make their own version of it?
Yeah, except you can't sue anybody in China. You can sue people in the United States.
Well, okay.
It's
Oh,
literally
yeah.
it's literally this is up to opinion. This is a tough one to take into court. This really is going to be, just a matter of opinion whether or not it's actual stealing from them or not. But yeah, I could say there's a lot of resemblance between the two.
I don't think he's going to win a lawsuit, but I think that his artistic integrity should be protected on some level.
Do you know what's not an opinion?
How husky her voice is?
No, how adorable Alba Baptista is. She is scrum-diddly-umptious.
I'm pretty sure she's got the second huskiest voice I've ever heard.
She doesn't have that husky of a voice.
Hey there, noob dude.
Oh my god. I would take it. She could talk like a gremlin for all I care.
You're not talking, Scott. You're trying, but you're
Have
not.
you seen her boobs?
No, did you?
Yeah, they're quite nice.
They're in the show?
Not like her boobs, but like her
Oh,
boobs.
you mean the fake. All I know is this show it was so not interesting, I couldn't make it past one episode. Scott, I don't think you made it past one episode. Somehow Noob finished this.
I finished all 10. What's weird about the show is that the first half of the season, the
There's some
second
husky
half,
voice. Hold on, Scott's got something to say.
Why? You can't pay attention to me, but pay attention to this stupid
oh my
show.
god, it's like I'm watching
for
Warrior.
10 episodes.
God,
What's wrong with you, noob?
finish me in
You
your
never
Halo.
pay
It is-
attention to me, but instead you pay attention to this silly show.
He just loves the husky voiced women.
Yeah.
These like mildly, they're like 6.5s to 7s. and
They're
he's just
solid 8.5 to
smitten.
9.
Not even close.
She's.
Are you kidding
Let's
me?
do a poll. Hold on. Does anyone else in the chat watch Warrior 9? Come on.
Look, you can
Doc,
categorize
we know you don't
me-
do shit all day. What do you watch? Come on. Let's get in here.
Look, you can
Get in here. Is she
categorize
cute?
me as a
Is
3,
she cute? Come on, Doc.
but I weigh
Tell
a
me.
10.
He likes the most generic white girls I've ever seen.
How dare you call me generic?
Oh my god. First off, so anyway,
Bland.
it's a
bland.
weird show because
I
the
am-
first half of the season.
I am anything but generic. A lot of surgery has gone into this.
Into that sour puss of hers.
Into something that Noob would love, but
Oh my
instead
God.
he just cast me to the side. Noob,
Just-
I love you.
Okay, I would love her to love me.
So, remember what I said about how she just cares about partying and doesn't
Yes.
care about the
That
fact that
changes.
she watched a man die in front
That
of her
changes.
and a demon. Yeah.
Yeah, the story
So
changes.
she spent 6 episodes trying to hump this guy, and then she just leaves.
Drops him like a sack of potatoes.
like a sack of
And
noodles.
so on and so on and so on.
And so on and so on.
And then it becomes hardcore warrior nun, Jesus, and devil, and demons, and it's
so
quite.
she's Jesus.
She's female Jesus.
Jesus.
Yes, she is Jesus with
I barely did any impressions in this.
halo nipples. She has halo nipples.
Well, I am so not intrigued that I would love to go on to the next one.
I'm going to
Still
watch
don't
season
care.
2, honestly.
Wait,
but-
what is the? There's finally a critic consensus. So why don't you
Yes.
tell us what that is?
So the critic consensus is, though Warrior Nun's heavy-handed setup weighs it down, committed performances and excellent fight. Actually, I read this last week. Maybe enough for those looking for more pulp with their pulpit. Tomato meter 72%, audience score 73%. That's accurate. It's like a C plus. It's like a
So
C
it's
show.
not that good.
Tumbling.
It's okay.
It's a waste of your time.
It's all
folks.
right.
Noob, it's just like, oh, damn it.
Nope. Now you're a fairy.
Noob, it's just like sex with you. It was disappointing.
Okay. Well, how about Hyperdrive, Scott? Nothing. The speed you don't move in because
The
of your
speed
size.
that Scott does not move
Yes.
in. This is so. Hold on. Why don't you just tell us a little bit about the critic consensus? There is no critic consensus, but what are the ratings?
100% and 95%. 100% tomato meter and 95% audience score.
95% audience.
The
score.
series info: elite street racers from around the world test their limits in supercharged custom cars on the biggest, baddest automotive obstacle course ever built.
So this show is kind of like Tokyo Drift on steroids, where they get like the craziest cars I've ever seen racing around a track that will surely get some of these people killed. Some of them are complete amateurs who don't belong on it at all. It's produced by Charlize Theron, and you'll see like a 65 Dodge Charger. I think that's a thing. Or you'll see, like crazy Nissans. Why don't you tell us about some of the cars you saw on that show, Scott?
It's a weird mix between like old school American muscle and a bunch of imports. There was Nissans. There was actually a Lambo that was racing this thing. Guy was drifting a Lambo.
Yeah, like a $300,000 Lamborghini.
The one guy has, you can see it here. This the image is this Mustang that was modded to look like a piece of crap. Just
A 65 Mustang?
completely destroyed a classic car. And then there's some cool things like this Charger that you see here. I'm not impressed by any of these drivers. I would have liked to see you get a pro, maybe get Ken Block to do that race first, and then see if any of these drivers could keep up with him.
Or Vin Diesel.
It's not that good.
Ken
Vin
Block.
Diesel.
Who's Ken Block?
Ken Block is a Red Skull drift racer. He's actually like a pro, won championship, stuff like that. You know, the people that know what they're doing, unlike any of the idiots on this show.
I feel like some of the people on the show actually won some like races and things like that in drifting.
And
no?
then they immediately crashed into their set because they're that talented.
into their sacks.
Into the set, into the walls of their set.
Uh-huh.
So Vin Diesel is better.
So what I'm curious about is, so Scott, you told me something about this show. Why didn't you tell me what you actually feel about this show?
Is this it?
I think it's a piece of crap, actually. The first episode was good, and
Is this
then
it?
and then
We're
they had
getting
this
there.
and then they had this amazing cliffhanger at the end. And then the beginning of episode 2, they threw that cliffhanger out the window. They threw great story out the window and said, we don't give a flying fuck about any of our characters, any of our people, any of our stories. And we're going to throw away a compelling story. And instead, we're going to bring in random 4 other people to race who weren't in the first episode. They're just getting a fucking pass. It's the stupidest concept I've ever seen.
You know what a qualifying race is, right?
It's where you qualify.
So if your car doesn't make it to the end, do you think you should keep going? Or is this communism? You're saying that they should just let these people go through even if they suck and their car is a piece of shit?
I say, yeah, you're disqualified. But the way they set this up, and I'm talking about oh, wait, let me go ahead, since our audience hasn't seen any of the pictures I've shown so far.
The South Africana girl?
So this is how they ended the first episode with the story of this girl right here from South Africa, which is a heart-compelling story. You see like where she comes from, the town she lives in, and you really do feel for this girl, and you're rooting for her. Charlize Theron goes and visits her and goes drifting with her. It's a real cool way to end it, and you really are supporting this girl. You want to see her win, and then The next episode, her car dies. It's unfortunate, but it really is a disaster in storytelling, especially if you're trying to keep this thing going the entire series. And then
It's a race show.
And then-
people freaking race.
And here's what
if
you do.
don't complete the race, you don't move forward. How is that a
And
difficult
then-
concept?
So you have these 10 drivers in the first episode, 3 gets qualified, and then they just randomly bring in 3 more in the next one that didn't have to do the first set of races. So how is that even fair in the first place?
It's called seeding. It's a
There's
competition.
no
you have to
seeding.
seed in order to compete. There's a show.
so lost right now.
There's no seeding when you have a second round and bring random people in on the second round that didn't compete in the first round. It makes no sense.
They were seeded to begin with.
You can't have. They weren't the people they randomly brought in the second episode, and then they randomly brought people in the third episode, and that's when I stopped watching. They weren't seeded. They just brought in random people that weren't in the first episode because they have to have 10 cars. They disqualify 3. They bring in 3 more. The 3 they brought in didn't race the first round. That wasn't seeding. That was just bringing in random people to fill a show. You could have done this a lot better. You could have
What's
done
the
all this
real
so much
reason
better.
you don't like this show? There's
love,
a real reason
I would
why you
love to
don't
hear
like
the
it.
real reason I don't like this show because I'm still waiting. I guess this is the news that I was waiting to find out about myself. Come on.
Is this it?
Tell me.
We're getting there.
Tell me.
Is this
So,
it?
so let me ask Scott, what did you think of the hosts of this show?
Huh?
What do you think of the hosts of this show?
Oh, they're idiots. All 4 of them are absolute idiots.
So can you name any of them?
The one guy was the host from that stupid lava show, the one that we reviewed 2 episodes ago.
The floor is lava.
The floor is lava.
What's his name? Like Hunter Hearst Helmsley
no.
or some waspy name?
Okay. Waspy name?
He's
Okay.
a super wasp.
I did
And
look.
then there's some girl.
They've got these 4 hosts. They've got that guy who already has a failed American car show. They got another guy who I guess was an MMA fighter who he doesn't know
Michael
jack
Bisping.
jack shit about
Michael
cars,
Bisping.
so he doesn't know nothing. They got the third guy, which I don't know what his background is, but obviously he's not cars again. Then they have a female host who they barely talk to her at all.
Just look at the hosts of Hyperdrive. I don't know why you're looking up the law.
Rutledge Wood.
Yes,
That's
the
it.
wasp.
That guy.
So let me ask you: are you more interested in the cars or the hosts?
I'm interested in neither of them. It's a crap show.
So here is the man who's been telling us about the Motor Trends app.
Yeah.
He's been telling us about what's that other stupid show that he watches all the time? Top Gear.
Top Gear.
And then he's watching Top Gear USA, and he doesn't like Mr. Waspy. Do you know why he likes Top Gear?
No.
Why don't you tell us why you like Top Gear?
I would
there,
love
Scott?
to. Why don't you bring us in, Z, on what your point you're trying to make? Because I am completely in the dark right now.
You told me that you thought that the hosts were perfection, and that you really enjoyed they were funny and they were like the camaraderie between the hosts. And then he tells us that he knows all of this stuff about the Mythbuster hosts. I say Scott doesn't care about cars at all. Scott only cares about the hosts of the show, and that's all you watch a show for is for the hosts. You don't care about anything but the hosts. And because you hate the hosts of this show, because you hate Mr. Waspy, you don't know who Michael Bisping is, you don't like the girl, and you don't like the ESPN guy, you hate the show. You only like shows where you like the host. Admit it. You're just a hostess.
Hold on. What?
He's a total hostess.
That's a cake, a hostess. It's
he likes cakes
it's a
too.
brand of cake.
So hold on. His
the
revelation.
Noob, if you can bring this around, please do, because
The revelation.
I'm trying.
Please tell me what the revelation.
I'm at a
trying.
loss for words as well right now.
So the revelation that you just made with English words was that Scott only watches shows if he likes the host.
Correct.
And that took you 150 episodes to get to.
I thought he genuinely liked cars.
I honestly thought this was going to be outing Scott as gay, or he's pregnant,
He
or
could be
he's
pregnant.
actually a trans woman.
Obviously,
He could be a bearded woman. Those were things that Noob
obviously.
suspected.
But instead, it's just that he doesn't like white people hosts.
So,
Hold on, do you like? Well, hold on. What shows do you like? What that have hosts?
Like I said, the old school Top Gear I watch all the time. I enjoyed the Floor's Lava. That was cool. There was real no host.
You
in
didn't.
that
You
one.
said you didn't like the host.
The host sucks.
Like
Top
the
Gear
Floor's Lava. You
America.
said it was a waste of time.
It was a waste of time. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know
exactly.
what shows I like.
Oh yeah, he's backing out of it now. But
he's backing way hard. He doesn't like cars at all. He reviewed the Motor Trend app.
Okay.
What are you talking
You're right.
about?
Yeah, no,
You're
I
right.
don't think
You're
Scott
not
likes-
a car. You don't like cars.
So-
How could you not like this show? People
Z-
are literally racing for their lives like maniacs, and you don't like this show
Z
because
has-
you don't like the host.
Z has this weird image of me in his head. It's probably naked, but he thinks that like I like cars, like I'm some sort of like mechanic that I used to be back in the day. That
You
like
pretended to be a car
I
guy
love
on this
cars.
show for the past
So-
150 episodes.
So I never pretended to be a car guy. This is like some sort of like weird thing that Z made up in his head. I brought the Motor Trend app up because it was discounted heavily for that time
Your
that I
favorite
bought it.
show in the world
Top
is
Gear,
Top Gear,
which is
yes,
which is
and you don't
the
care
old
about cars
school-
at all.
No.
You just like watching the host.
The old school Top Gear was a very
Oh, boy.
well done show that used cars as the subject matter for what the show was revolved around.
He only likes the host. That is the
so-
lamest thing I've
so
ever
when
heard
you
in
have-
my entire life.
So when you have these three hosts who do have a great personality
I give
together,
up. I'm done.
who are coming up with challenges to
tapped.
make soccer
Check,
soccer
please.
games out of cars, racing
I'm
Winnebagos,
confused.
and,
Do you like
and
Pat
blowing
Sajak?
stuff
Let's just go
up.
through hosts.
And
Tell us
blowing
what
stuff
you think of the
up.
hosts.
I can't like the show because I like what they do and the content in the show. Watch the old school Top Gear. Look at some places they
You
go.
don't care about
They
the
go to
content. You
amazing
only care about the
places.
host. That's all you care about. That's what's
I don't
freaking
even,
ridiculous.
I don't even know what your argument is.
My argument is that for the 150 episodes, I thought you were into cars, and now I'm like, you only like hosts? You only care about the
No,
hosts?
I like good content.
I just don't think Scott watches anything, so anything he says is irrelevant for reviews.
Oh,
so
okay. Well, fine. Unless he's reviewing the host. We're going to have exclusive
Host
host
reviews.
reviews of... We're going to call a new segment called Scott Host Reviews. We're just... host reviews. I was like, Scott, you're really going to like this show. These people are racing. I hate cars. I don't care about cars at all. And I was like, wow, this is kind of compelling because these cars are pretty crazy. I've heard of a Mustang. A
Great.
crazy 65
Just-
Mustang.
Scott, so we're clear, just maybe we can save this revelation. You're sure you're not gay?
Yes.
I'm pretty
Are
Like,
you
because
sure?
what he said wasn't that funny, so maybe you being gay is better.
I'm like 50% sure.
I
Okay.
just think it's ridiculous. No wonder he likes Mr. NVT because he thinks he's a great host. Now we know.
I don't understand.
Now we know.
Okay, that's
if you want
There
to
we go.
if you want to talk about
I told
Okay.
a joke.
if you want to talk about Hyperdrive, yeah, there were some amazing cars on it. The mechanics were impressive.
You don't care
All right,
about the
let's-
cars.
these- no.
Forget about
They
it. We've
weren't-
already gone
They,
past this.
they weren't talented drivers. Some of them were. Most of them weren't.
Some of them were brain dead. I don't even
I
know why they
also,
brought
I
them
also
on.
would have liked to see a professional drifter, a professional racer come on and do that track to set a benchmark. Like, and the show itself.
All right, we're done with
So
Hyperdrive.
about
Let's
does
just go to
completely
old
wrong.
Gord.
So let's move from
Look,
a
here,
South African
here.
white woman
You
to
wanna-
a South African white woman.
Z, you want to do a car show right? When you
We're-
have
we're
your
still talking.
qualifier thing here, you have your window here with all the names. Put the
Great.
cars they're racing up there as well. Put the car
Awesome.
on there so you know what
Now
it was.
he's mad about the grass.
There's nothing.
He
there
cares
was-
about the grass.
This,
Are we
this
good?
show was such a missed opportunity. They could have done
are
a
you
lot
good?
It's
more,
season
but
one.
they didn't.
Okay.
You didn't even watch
Nothing
season
wrong
2.
with it.
You don't know they can
Because-
make it better.
Because I gave up on episode 3 because
don't
it was
care
a
about
piece of
cars.
crap.
Okay. Nobody cares about this.
Shocking
And it has
revelations here at
nothing
OrkU.
to do with cars. It all has everything to do with whether or not it's a good
The host.
show. It's not a good
Wow.
show.
Should we ask him about like
Right.
what's a
Nope.
good cleaning show with a good host? I don't know.
I don't know, Consuela. So
Why is
No.
it? Why is it?
No.
Why is it a Consuela? Noob.
from
I
Family
don't
Guy.
know. That's no. Well, he's talking about Family Guy, but that's not where I was going. But
Oh.
sure, let's talk about some gourds.
Yes,
Some old
so
gourds.
old gourds, starring a South African woman who Scott likes as a host.
She wasn't the host
she
of the
wasn't
show.
even a
She didn't
host.
like her.
She was in the show for like 5 seconds. She went in to like try and like make the storyline great and make you care about somebody that they're just going to get rid of 5 seconds later.
Anyway,
such a waste.
We should
of time.
move on because we're losing people in the chat.
So the Old Guard is
It
the newest.
must have
Netflix
been that
original-
amazing revelation about me that you came up with, Z.
It took me
Probably.
5 minutes, but I told a good joke.
Yeah, you got there eventually.
All
Old
good
Guard
jokes take a
is-
5-minute set.
Ah, shut up! The Old Guard is the latest Netflix original movie.
Noob, let me ask you something.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Uh-huh.
We're gonna talk about a movie that wasn't even that good. Let's just get
Go ahead.
through it.
Yeah, you want to talk about? Go ahead. Talk about Old Guard.
Great. Did you watch Old Guard, Scott?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Did
we
you?
we all watched it.
Yes.
All
And-
3 of us.
So the the Old Guard is starring Charlize Theron and some other people that aren't famous or important, and it's basically they're immortals that have gone through time fighting.
There's no plot to this
Stuff.
movie.
There's no
It's
plot.
just a thing.
So the critic consensus is the Old Guard is occasionally restricted by genre conventions, but director Gina Prince Bythewood, a sophisticated vision to the superhero genre, and some knockout action sequences led by Charlize Theron. So I guess, yes. So if you've watched Atomic Blonde, this is like the shittier version of that.
I never saw Atomic Blonde. So I'm just sucks. That it was a movie. It was okay,
Yeah.
but it was basically a setup for a better movie. Because
Yeah.
they tried to set up a sequel that sounds far more interesting than the convoluted nonsense they tried to put forward on this.
It would have been nice if they set up this movie though, because the setup for this movie was a train wreck. Absolutely.
There wasn't really a setup. It was just they're immortal and they kind of do stuff.
Why do they think that every single graphic novel that was ever made, except for mine, gets turned into a movie? Why do they do that? And they're just this story wasn't like, it was kind of, like, you know. At least I'll say Charlize Theron was good. Her action scenes were tight. She's definitely convincing as an action star, but this was just boring.
The setup
there was nothing to
the
it.
setup was so bad. They had no story set up. Then all of a sudden they're walking somewhere and she's got this battle axe. No, what? Like out of nowhere. Like why is she holding an axe? No reason whatsoever. They don't explain anything. It was just if they rearranged the story and how they told it, it could have been a great movie. But instead they wanted to do some weird thing where they introduced a death and then some backstory and then exposition or whatever bullcrap. It was just the way they set up and the way they told the story was just fell on deaf ears.
Although, did anyone find that they went out of their way to, if in one particular scene, to make it super gay and inclusive?
I don't know why
this was like,
why are you pointing this
let's
out?
check off all the token boxes. Yes, I believe that. It didn't like totally get in the way of the movie because it was just boring.
It was just,
anyway.
it wasn't bad. It was just, I watched, I'm like, oh, this is weird. Like they went hard, and then
Yeah.
the rest of the movie doesn't really acknowledge it. It's just like really hard on one scene, and then
Actually,
like, okay, let's move on.
Noob, you couldn't figure that out. The two guys decided to make everybody in that thing uncomfortable and distract them before they murdered the shit out of them.
Nobody's uncomfortable. That's like a theme from like the 90s where people were uncomfortable, or the 80s where people were uncomfortable with people being gay. Nobody gives a shit about it. Gay marriage
Unless
is
you're
legal
doing like
everywhere.
butt
Why would
sex in front of everybody.
Yeah, that would be distracting if somebody was banging another dude in front of somebody, but they were just kissing. Like that doesn't bother anybody at this point.
Then they went ahead and murdered the fuck out of everybody else in that truck. So
They don't
should've
explain how
started-
they did that though.
That's more shocking than just kissing people.
Yes.
The other thing that I thought was weird was the fact like they've been around for like hundreds of years, right?
More than like millennias.
You'd think they'd be their plan was to get killed, get resurrected, and kill people instead of just, hey, I've been around so many years, I know how to kill people really, really easily. Like it's just a thing I can do. They never showed that. They were just like
They sort of did that with Charlize Theron.
barely did that.
Barely.
The rest of her team was a bunch of losers.
they
then.
just
None of
like
them could do that.
They ran into the gunfire, and you would think that after thousands of years, you'd learn not to run into gunfire.
You would think after thousands of fights and murders and killing that you would be so good at killing people and anticipating their moves that it would just be like second nature. But these people were just stupid. They just kept running into gunfire and getting killed, and then they're like, "Oh, I'm back to life." Like they would fall for a trap. You've been around for 2,000 years. You don't know how to not fall into a trap by this point? Come on, people.
I guess like the shape of her axe is important for some reason because if you look at the movie poster they have, it's that image is like
I think they just took it from the comic book and it looks like a
so
hoe.
it's a horrible poster. It just makes no sense then.
Man, so anyway,
It's an okay movie.
What was the critic consensus or like the rating by the fans? 73.
Yeah, 81% tomato meter,
C minus.
73% audience score.
I agree. C minus.
It's all right.
What do you think, Scott? C minus.
Fucking thing sucks!
Scott hates it.
It didn't suck
He didn't like the host.
because it didn't have a host.
It definitely, like I said, if they told the story a different way, then it could have been done a lot better. But the way they tried to do it, it just didn't work at all.
Sure.
So there, that's
That's
my 2 cents.
It's worth
Noob
watching
noob.
if you're bored.
If you're really bored, just catch it. It's like another Netflix movie. It's just not up to par.
I would say series like there's other movies that I would watch on Netflix before this. That the Ryan Reynolds movie series Underground
think
or
that one-
6 Underground.
That was bad. Yeah, it was more interesting at least.
It was more entertaining.
This is boring.
Yeah. So,
It's alright.
That's about it. That's all we got.
That's it.
That's it.
So after 150 episodes, we discovered one fascinating thing.
Is that Z has this weird askew image of me in his head.
Yes.
That you liked cars.
And he's racist against hosts.
And
That-
you're 100% racist
That I'm
against
not. I'm not as much of a motorhead as you thought I was.
For
Wow.
someone who brought Top Gear and Motor Trends, things we would never review in a million years, I just authentically thought that you were like, I like cars.
I brought up Motor Trend because it was a good deal for motorheads, and I brought Top Gear because it's a classic show with a lot of fan base. And then the other show that I mentioned on it is Richard Hammond's Big, which has nothing to do with cars.
What is that?
It's another show on Motor Trend.
That's because you like the host. That would be like
Richard
Noob
Hammond's-
Noob liking straight porn. It just doesn't make sense.
Richard Hammond's a decent show.
That was
Shattered
about pieces in
reality.
it.
And in that show, he talks about really interesting things.
Because you like the hosts. Like you
so,
like you
unlike,
probably like Bourdain.
you know what? I can't stand the host on this show. So, if you like what you heard here this week, head on over to Instagram and check us out at ork_u. Go to facebook.com/ourreviewswillkillyou. And of course, if you're listening to us on our podcast, check us out on the YouTube at youtube.com/ourreviewswillkillyou. We are live on Friday nights. Join in the chat. We had plenty of people jump in here tonight. Bootleg, Doc, George Lopez, a couple other people that use nicknames that I don't
Bird
know
Doritos.
that Z has to tell them. Who else nicknames
Hoo-ha.
Z? Other people.
Other people. I shouted them out.
All right, cool.
And they want the chat wants Noob Noob to clean the toilet, which maybe we'll do on air.
So maybe
And,
maybe that's what we need to do.
They want
That's
Baby Yoda as CEO of OrkU.
So here's our new poll for this week for our listeners to jump in to our YouTube chat for this episode 150. Does Scott like cars? Yes or no? So
Yes or no?
that
The obvious answer is
that will
no.
be
Does Scott love hosts?
that will be our question for this week. Jump in the YouTube chat comment section and answer it. Did you think that Scott liked cars? Yes or no? Nice and simple. A question presented by the ambiguously gay duo, as you can see on the screen there. Check us out. Everything's streaming on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, and Google Play. And of course, as always, ScottWillKillYou.com will bring you OrkU for free. I'm all over the place. Just wrap this fucker up.
I'm shouting out Mark D. If you don't see, those aren't gang signs. That's signs for Mark D. So just shout out Mark D out there. Anyway, thank you again for 150 episodes. Thanks for putting up with our nonsense. Thanks for let's go for 150 more. From all of us here at Our Reviews Will Kill You, to all of y'all at home, thanks again for Baby Yoda, and we love y'all.
You've had greatest of fears.